Hello everybody, it's Starrapter here. Welcome to another episode of This Week in Star Wars Canon. Each and every week I break it all down for you guys. The comics, the novels, the video games, the TV series, anything that ties into the movies that we all know and love. So this week I want to talk about Dr. Aphra Annual #1. So this is basically the origin story for Black Krrsantan, the right-hand Wookie partner to Dr. Aphra. And the way they tell the story is very unique because it goes back and forth from present to the past. And it's a retelling of how Black Krrsantan got to where he is. And he is basically sharing this information with journalists. And it is all scheme for Dr. Aphra to sneak on board their ship and transmit the invitation to her party that she's going to sell this rare crystal. So it all connects actually into the current arc of Dr. Aphra. But getting back to it, the crux of the story, like I said, is about how Black Krrsantan came to be who he is now. And it all starts off with him being on Kashyyyk, and there's these Trandoshan slavers who come over there, and they basically initiate him to come back with them to the Zontai brothers, who have this gladiatorial kind of ring where they grow and train these different combatants in hopes to sell them to a high bidder and make money off of it. So we see Black Krrsantan as one of the most potential champions that they can actually do, put out of this kind of gladiatorial ring. And it's pretty nice seeing like all this combat and how it goes back and forth to the present and the past with Dr. Aphra and her schemes. So I really enjoyed this story because Black Krrsantan is one of the coolest things about this Dr. Aphra storyline going on right now. And I'm going to get into the things I particularly liked about this issue. And of course, I gotta say, well, the origins of Black Krrsantan were pretty damn impressive. I did like to see how he almost got like a Wolverine vibe when they actually fused his hands with this kind of, metal, and it's impervious to damage as we see in the comics. So it's pretty cool. And I didn't even realize like that he had metal hands this entire time. I don't know if there was little like teases of that in the previous issues of Dr. Aphra or Darth Vader. That is very interesting to me. And they also talk a little about his life debt with the Zontai brothers, and about how not even a life debt can be a good thing most of the time. So they basically took off his hands to put these metal hands on there or whatever. So he has a debt that he wants to pay to them. So that's probably going to be in the form of some kind of punishment for their end of the spectrum. So that'll be kind of cool to see how that plays out in the future, because we do know in the last 2 issues ago that we did actually see the Zontai brothers, and that's what triggered Black Krrsantan to get into this Wookiee type of rage. What I really enjoyed about this issue too is how, even as a annual issue, a lot of times the annuals, especially for Star Wars, haven't had anything to do with what's going on currently in the comic arc. Whereas this issue actually ties itself very well into how Dr. Aphra actually initializes and gets all these underworld criminals together to sell this crystal roar, and she does it with this scheme, which is also a really cool storytelling perspective for how to tell his origin story. And speaking of, a way to tell and a way to broadcast, they were actually revealing about the underworld kind of holonet. So there's a holonet that's regulated by the Empire, and then there's this kind of holonet that's called the Undervine, and that is where all these, it's not even just the Empire or the Rebellion. It could be anybody that wants to broadcast, and it's going to get to a lot of the underbelly of the galaxy there. And I did enjoy seeing some of these offshoot type of alien species, such as the Dowutins from The Force Awakens, that big guy sitting on a chair in Maz's castle. We also see some Tals from the Clone Wars and from A New Hope, the big furry guys. And we see a Basilisk, the four-armed alien like Dexter. So pretty cool. And we also see the Tals getting swallowed up by a Sarlacc pit in the midst of their training. So that was really, really interesting. So that is going to do it for another episode of This Week in Star Wars Canon. Next week we have the new Mace Windu series coming out, as well as Star Wars number 35. And I want to send a very special shout out to my buddy over at Force Within TV. He does an excellent job with Rebels content. So if you're a fan of Star Wars Rebels, make sure you check out his channel. He does videos daily just about, and he does these very cool speculation theory videos, and he gets involved with all of his subscribers and his viewers, so you could always, be interactive with him. He does a great job of sharing everybody's thoughts on his particular videos, getting everybody to kind of have a conversation. So very cool, laid back kind of channel, but it's also very insightful. So make sure you check him out and please subscribe to him. So that's going to do it for me. Starrapter. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, especially if you're new. Welcome. I have plenty of Star Wars content. Like I mentioned, every week I have a video talking about the comics and the novels, but I also do other things such as general movie reviews, TV reviews. You can check out my Defenders review for season 1 up on the channel right now. So that's going to do it for me. Thank you for watching, and may the Force be with you always. So did you like the video? Then make sure you rate it a thumbs up, and if you did that, go over there, hit that Starrapter head to subscribe to my channel. Doing so will keep you up to speed on all of my latest content. Speaking of which, you can see a couple of my recent uploads down below. I'm also on social media, so what are you waiting for? Let's start nerding out.